Chris Kenny, Nick Rees, where do you think Labor, if it is to gain ground, is most likely to do it tonight?
You go, Nicholas.
I don't have...
Oh, you didn't have the audio. He's asking where will Labor gain ground? If they're going to win the government tonight, where are they going to get those victories?
Look, I think WA will be critical. Obviously, those seats of Swan, Pearce and Curtin. I think Labor will be hoping to pick up a seat or two out of New South Wales. Reid, I would put at the top of the list there. The perennial of Bass and Braddon in Tasmania, and possibly a seat like Chisholm in suburban Melbourne. Interestingly, Queensland often features on election nights. I'm not sure that will be the case this time round, because even the most marginal government-held seats in Queensland have a margin of 4%. So really hard for Labor to make gains there this time round.
One of the things I'm going to be looking out for, Kieran, is where the Liberal Party or the coalition could pick up seats, because we know they're going to lose some seats. So to stay in government, they have to win seats somewhere. We're going to look at Gilmore, of course, in New South Wales. Maybe something odd like Parramatta, where Labor have shown a bit of hubris, parachuting in a millionaire candidate into the seat of Parramatta. Couple of very marginal Labor seats in Queensland too, and Queensland can do strange things on election night. I think a key factor in this election, as always, is the shy Tory factor, the fact that the polls tend to underestimate the coalition vote. I think our politics has become so toxic that factor is increasing. There's a big margin to make up. The coalition behind even on the primary votes in a lot of the polling, but expect the coalition to actually do better than the polls show. It's just a matter of whether it's big enough. And as Paul was saying, all those minor parties flowing through, breakaway parties on the right, how much preference discipline is there from them to get back to the coalition? It's going to be a long and fascinating night. Nicholas, you've been talking to people deep inside the Labor Party organisation. You described them to me before, that old cliche of quietly confident. Surely they'd be desperately nervous as well.
Oh, absolutely. After what happened in 2019, nobody is getting ahead of themselves. And as has been commented on several times this evening, everybody is finding it very hard to read these polls at the moment, because the electorate is so fragmented, because those preference flows are so hard to read. I mentioned Queensland a moment ago. Those UAP preferences are going to be quite decisive and could actually deliver some upsets. People are talking about the UAP vote being at its highest in Victoria. Well, that could deliver some outer suburban surprises there as well. So, and look, I think you could see a seat like Nichols in regional Australia, in regional Victoria, also potentially change hands with a strong independent running there, a seat that probably hasn't got as much attention as it should have. Just while we are talking, I do want to do a big shout out though to the 100,000 AEC workers who are out there today manning those polling stations and as of now counting those votes. They will be, for the first time, counting till midnight this time. I think they finished at 10 p.m. last election. But for those viewers at home doing the time math, that means that in Western Australia, they'll be counting till 2 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
And just a few more people starting to turn up here at the Canterbury-Hurlston Park RSL. Anthony Albanese's not here. He's at his home taking in events with his partner, Jody. We expect to see him here later on when there's something to say, something to observe. But, of course, a lot of volunteers from the Labor Party just knocking off now after the polls closed at 6 o'clock. Someone drifting in here. Many will be staying behind, of course, to scrutiny the counts. They're a fantastic part of the process too, all those party volunteers right across the country. Back to you in the studio.
Indeed. Chris and Nicholas, thank you so much.